What's going on, car guys and car gals? It's Lou Ramirez.
And it's Fred Leno.
And we are Brewing Solutions on the Car Guy Coffee Podcast. And look who we got in here inside with the purple jacket, looking good, feeling good, having fun at DealerConnect 2025. The one, the only, Jim Maxfield. Did I say it right? Did I say
To
it
the
right?
max, baby. And that's what it's
What's
about.
up,
I
brother?
love
Welcome
that
to the show.
name.
Welcome.
I've heard that your whole life, probably.
I've not been introduced that nicely. When my mother was so glad I came back from school alive. So, and here I am.
Well, we're happy to have you on the
Welcome
show,
to the
man.
party.
Your personality keeps popping everywhere I see you, man, and I absolutely love that. There's something dynamic about that, and I'm sure that there's a story behind that, brother. So tell us a little bit of your history, where you come from, what you do, bro.
Yeah. So my kind of car history is pretty straightforward. I've got a mom and a dad. My dad was a franchise car dealer in Houston, Texas. He had a Chrysler, AMC, Jeep Eagle, Renault store in the 60s and 70s. There are pictures of Superman Jim, not in purple, but in red and blue tights, dressed up as a gremlin, jumping out gremlins.
Wow.
That's cool.
That's
no
hilarious.
interest in the car business. I just wanted to drive submarines around. That's what I went and did. And after I resigned my commission, I promptly went to work selling computer systems to car dealers. And so for about 30 years now, I've been on the technology side of retail, automotive, and I love it.
No, rewind.
Yeah.
Get back to
Just
submarine.
little
I heard
stuff, yes.
submarine drive
Yes.
them. And then so he was commissioned, so he was an officer in the Navy.
Yeah, I was.
So that's amazing. Congratulations on that. Appreciate your service, and keeping our country safe, because I know
I'll
submarines.
just publicly say thanks to everyone that paid all those taxes so I could do that cool shit. I got the best part of the deal, I can promise you.
Well, the personality is
Yeah,
so
yeah.
understandable. Now that
Yes.
as soon as you said, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, that's where it comes from, and I absolutely love that. So again, thank you for your service, brother, and thank you for literally that's a cool job. I've never been in a real submarine. I've been in those ones like at Disney World and stuff, but so I've never been in a real one. So I've always wanted to. So you literally are living a dream of so many young men and women out there who've always been like, man, I'd love to be in a submarine. So really cool, man.
I'll remind people that our ballistic missile boats are so big. We had a 10K race underwater on our ballistic missile boat.
That's pretty freaking rad
Yeah.
stat right there. I
Yeah.
love that. That is a factoid, Lou.
Yeah, that is a good fact.
How many laps around the upper missile deck makes 10 kilograms? It's a lot of laps.
Yeah, I can imagine, but that's pretty amazing that you could do that. I'm sure that was part of the fun inside there, the spirit that you guys kept going and challenging yourself to do something in there. So, well, brother, man, thank you so much. You said now 30 years outside of that now?
Yep.
Wow, really cool. So, Gather, I love the name. How
Sponsoring the
did
event.
that name come about?
So because really what I do is I run around, I gather all this stuff up that sales guys do very poorly at gathering. I digitize everything. And so that was kind of how we came to the name. That I figured that every
simple, baby.
minute a sales guy is worrying about administrative paperwork like insurance cards or driver's license or red flag reports, things like that. That's one less minute they have explaining Lou why he needs to buy this car. And so I'm like, hey, if we can't find a way to digitize all that in today's modern world, then maybe we have to think this whole, inter-automotive piece. And so, that's basically what I've done. And as this has matured, as everyone here at the conference knows, and a lot of rah-rah on this is that we've got a big partnership with Clear that we're exclusive in the automotive space. And so we are taking those same Clear kiosks that we have at the airport into the dealers. So the fraudsters just can't get through the door, which means the dealers can focus on selling cars to people who are actually there to sell cars, not people that are there to steal cars.
I absolutely love that, because
What a way to check in.
there's more fraud happening across the country in so many different realms. In automotive, we are definitely falling to that. It's been happening since I began car business. Before there was all this digital world going on, there was still fraud happening. But now to be able to have a tool like Clear to be able to make sure that those people are those people, there's just no doubt of it, right? The question I have on that, I'm just a little bit, want to dig a little deeper, is like, is it, I know currently right now, I'm sure if that's just an identification thing, but is that a way to immediately process, like if they want to get a loan, they can take that, just they should know who they are, or is there more data needed at that point?
Well, it'll be interesting to find out where we are this time next year when we're talking.
Yeah, I had a question.
DealerConnect too, that where we are now versus where we were when we started, kind of with our initial value props, kind of amazing. Today what we're able to do with a phone number and a bioscan of a consumer at the Gather Clear kiosk, and Shazam, we load into the CRM and DMSs, driver's license, first name, last name, email, phone number, all their car insurance information. If they have active car insurance, if that car insurance is compliant with their car loan, the OFAC red flag report, and there's some other things that are coming together. Hopefully by NADA we'll have more cool things to announce. But if you think about what happens in a dealership. And we've asked the customers that we've installed the kiosk, would you rather give the sales guy your license, or would you rather go over to this Gather Clear kiosk where you have $1 million ID protection if something happens, and let Clear handle that? And everyone wants to go with Clear.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's what we do.
Wow.
I think because you're
That's
starting
amazing.
to be the clear choice.
Yes.
Oh.
yeah.
Oh boy.
I can clear. I can
Y'all
see
got that
exactly
on
why.
tape now. So
I'm
the
just saying,
licensing
like,
issue.
all I know is it's like,
I think the Clear Choice is a Bosch and Loam thing already on
Absolutely.
contacts.
I think that, the future is going to see 2020
Oh.
clearly. So anyway, that being said, no, I absolutely love that we can keep punting
Yeah, we
these
can
things
take a
out.
bunch of deep dives.
It's not my
into
brand,
some
so just
deep
hear it out,
waters.
Deep dives
Yeah.
into some deep waters.
That's right.
Yes. But talking about all these things, but especially when talking about the data that's out there for people, if we can simplify it, let's do it. If we can make things easier and more effective, which this is that next level of efficacy, right?
Well, there's also another key point, right? In every dealer, y'all deal with this every day. You fight with customer Kathy over a $5 a month car payment, right? Right. And yet, after you finally get to her to agree, you put her on the phone with the insurance agent, reminds her that their insurance payment just went up $80 a month, right? You don't think that messes up the deal? You don't think that when you get in the F&I office, that extra $80 is in her brain? It's making it harder to sell the tire and wheel, the gap and stuff. Like, let's get insurance just out of this process, because that's just administrative paperwork that dealers make no money on.
So true. And I love your vantage point for a minute. We did have the chance to learn. I got to learn about a new wine yesterday, you pointed out, but in that got to learn a little bit more about your story. And you're not just solving problems for dealers on the vendor side, you actually brew solutions as a dealer too. So you straddle this incredible industry and being able to see the different sides clearly, right? But being able to understand it from two different vantage points. What is it like being able to be in the conversation where you have the two different hats that actually you're simultaneously wearing? You can't unthink things.
Well, for everyone who had a parent that owned a car dealership, what it's like when you're in junior high washing cars and stuff. My dad passed away young. His dealership sold, in high school, no interest there. But you still kind of understand retail. And so, through all the years I've been out there, I've been that guy who wants to be at the point tip of the spear, to be on the desk to see what actually happens on a Saturday. I'm not just to sell another F&I product.
Right.
The guy that sits in the service drive, on Monday morning, right? When people are showing up without an appointment, needing a loaner car to get their car fixed, right?
Yeah.
And that when you're, I think, in the slipstream at the point tip of the spear, you learn different things, right? Than if you just are corporate and just kind of go about things that way. I think that's the differentiator that's allowed me to create something new and different in the space that resonates with retail automotive guys who deal with these challenges day in and day out.
That's awesome. And that's what I believe does help to literally brew different solutions for the many things that we do. Exactly like coming to an event like this, where the conversation is AI. And there's so many stinking questions that we're going to continuously have. And that's the point, right? Is to encourage us to ask questions and ask them, in an intelligent way, and to utilize our tools. I mean, there's so much more that we can do. And you are a very fascinating car guy that we honor, and we're excited to spend some time with.
I'll just remind everyone thinks that the Navy floats on water. It really floats on coffee. So, it's a nice fit here. It goes all the way around. Without coffee, the Navy sinks.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And the best coffee is Car Guy coffee.
Of course,
Car Guys and Car Gals. But I know you got to go ahead and you got to make a flight, right?
Yep, I'm racing out for yet another flight.
Yes.
Yeah,
we
man.
definitely know
Honestly,
the deal.
great time. Got to enjoy 2 dinners with you. Didn't get to sit at the table with you last night, but I got to see you there. So it's always good to be around great people doing big things.
And we have another convert to the dusty French wines I really like.
He did. He mentioned that last
My
night.
wife
He
would
was
have
like,
loved it.
the
My
wine
wife
was
would have
great.
loved it.
Oh my God, I love it.
Yeah.
So no, but absolutely. Well, it's always a pleasure, man. That table was full of some really great people last night, and even our table was phenomenal. I had some great conversations. There's nothing better than getting together with smart people trying to take it to the next level. So, brother, keep taking it to the next level. You know what I'm saying? Even if you're running 10K underwater, that's so crazy, right? That's unbelievable, man.
That's awesome. Well, car guys, car gals, we got one thing left to do, and that's to drop these F-bombs. So help us to forgive, focus, and to fly so we can keep growing. Help us out. Hands on the shoulders real quick. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Forgive.
Focus.
Focus.
Fly.
fly,
And
and
keep
keep
growing.
growing, keep growing.
And I'll remind everyone that submarines actually fly in the water. They have lifting surfaces and propeller.
Yeah, it makes
Right.
sense. And that's the same type
Yeah.
of
There you go.
dynamics. I
We
can
just
imagine.
fly through an incompressible medium, unlike all the airplanes.
Man, that's just that whole process of what submarines are.
It is
that's so
fascinating
cool, man.
technology.
It is super.
Peace out, folks.
Hey, thank you so much.
Love the chat.
Let's brew.